Okay, yesterday we have seen how to create a trigger on one particular table. Now today I'd like to extend some more regarding to triggers. So normally, as and when you have to create any table, the table will be created. A table could be gets created using all constraints, something like that. Not null. Not null is one particular constraint. Right? Check is another constraint, and unique is another constraint. Unique is another constraint. Okay. If these constraints will be there with you, so these constraints will be forced on one particular column. Obviously, as and when you are trying to insert the rows onto the column or rows onto the particular table, immediately, if any violations will be gets operated on those columns, immediately some error message will be generated. So let me show you how the things will be happen here. Let me show you. Let me show you how the things are being happening here. So here, so these are the tables which you have already created, and let us take one particular table. The table is admission. So here, describe admission. If you take this particular admission, so admission number is unique and not null, and the register number is primary key, and these are all different kinds of attributes which I have taken into consideration. And set lines 100, set pages 50. Okay. So these are the specific data. Select everything from EMP. So not EMP, it is admission. So course join does have this course does have some number of restrictions, that is CSC, EC, triple something like that. Course and BTech or MTech, and the branch will be CSC, EC, triple mechanical and civil engineering, something like that has been there with us. So and so look at this this particular thing which we have. This is unique and unique and not null, and this is primary key, and this not null, and it is also having not null. And here BTech or MTech is being accepted, and here CSC, EC, triple mechanical and civil is accepted. If I would do any kind of mistake while giving some kind of data into this table, so let me look at this. Insert into table name is admission values. Values might be, let me give 100 again, and then so 501 again. Then name will be some Kumar. Okay, Kumar also already available, so that let me give some other name here. Some other name here. The name might be let me say Suresh. And then so he is from Guntur GNT, and he is also taking a BTech, and he is mechanical engineering. So for example, this is the data which I would like to enter this data into this particular table. Then immediately some number of rules and regulations have not been followed here. What are the rules and regulations here is, it is imposed unique constraint. So here unique constraint will be there on admission number. Same admission number has taken one more time, because 100 is there and 100 has been taken. 501 is available, again 501 has taken here. So that is why unique constraint is violated. Such kind of error message has been generated here. Okay, generated here. How this could be generated? What are the specifications you are trying to understand? So this. So how this could be implemented? Is there any possibility to implement the same kind of constraints using triggers or not? Yes, the answer is yes. We can implement. Yes, it could be implemented. How this could be gets implemented? Let us see. Let us see how this could be implemented here. So I am trying to implement on one particular table, I am trying to implement not null. If any null value could be able to force it to place onto that particular table, onto that particular column, then immediately you have to specify to the user you are inserting null value, and then check constraint. Some rules and regulations must be imposed over there. Check constraint will also be checked by using trigger, and unique constraint could also be implemented over there. So unique constraint could also be implemented. So everything could be implemented by using a particular trigger here. So here, look at the specification. Before going to implement this trigger, let me introduce one specific function. That function is raise underscore application application error. So let me introduce this particular function here. This function is pretty much important while writing such kind of triggers on a particular table here. Raise application error. What does it mean? If you observe the SQL, so as and when any problem will be there, as and when any violations will be gets occurred, immediately, so it has been generated one error message. So error at line 1. So look at this ORA hyphen some number colon some kind of data. Okay, ORA hyphen some number. So it could be taken some kind of data which is being generated here. So to generate at the user level, so how it could be taken into consideration here is, yes, by using raise application error, you could generate the user defined error messages. Then what is the number you are supposed to, let me say, what is the syntax of this one? So error number followed by, so the data, whatever the, so let me say, data to be given to user. What is the data you are supposed to give to the user? So that could be specified here. Then what is the error number you are supposed to generate here? Which error number you are supposed to generate here in the sense, as far as Oracle is concerned, ORA hyphen, so it has been starts with 401. If you please observe this one, 401. So likewise, we do have approximately 20,000 errors are there. 20,000 errors are there in Oracle. So first 20,000, 00012, 00012, so 000, 200, 20,000, these are reserved. For every number, it does always have its own definition. As like as ORA 0001, so will be unique constraint violated. This is the error message which was endorsed for this particular error number. So this error number is always starts with minus. This error number is always starts with minus here. So minus, so this one too, 2, so minus 20,000. These error numbers are reserved. These are reserved errors by Oracle. So this could be get starts with ORA hyphen, that is minus actually 00001. So we have seen what is the error here. So unique constraint is violated. It has been seen. So same thing we have been, it has been displayed here. If you want to define your own, I would like to define my own here. My own in the sense you maybe get start from the error number could be get start from minus 20,001. Minus 20,001. Yes, you could start, and thereby it could be displayed as like as Oracle errors only, but the data what you have produced out there, that could be displayed. Okay, so this raise application error will be always applied in between if clause, if, so followed by raise application error end if, something like this you are expected to operate over there. So while implementing, everything will becomes to you, everything will be known to you here. So end if, something like this. Okay, it must be seen in such a way. This is very, very important for us. Now, let us take one definition here. The definition is table definition here. Let me take whatever it may be. So EMPL is my table name, which does have employee ID, which is some number of 5. Okay. Then here employee name. So where care 2 of 20, and then employee department EDEPT, employee DEPT. So which is where care 2 of some 10. So these departments must be always accepted. Let me write the table first, then structure first, then we'll go ahead with the regulations. So employee department, and then employee, yes, employee salary, number of some 11 comma 2, and then unique constraint, not null constraint, not here unique and not null constraints will be operated. Here not null, here check and not null, and here check also. Okay, everything will be occurred. So these are the columns which I have to define for EMPL, the table EMPL. In this, what are the rules and regulations you need to specify here? Whatever the value you have entered into EID, that must be so unique. You are not supposed to enforce unique while creation of that particular table. You have to write a trigger. The trigger will be always checks that whether uniqueness is being followed or not. Whether uniqueness is being followed or not. Okay, unique and not null. Both will be so operated. And here it is not null. Data should not be equal to null. And here it is not null. And department must be always check that check for CSE, department name CSE, ECE, so ECE, so triple E, and then mechanical engineering and the civil engineering. These are the departments which you have to check. Other than these, if anything, so anything will be there, they are not supposed to be accepted. Salary, it is also not null, must be provide some kind of value, and check that so the salary, whatever the salary offered to my employees, it could be greater than or equal to some 10,000 and less than or equal to some 90,000. Okay, salary between, so these two. Between, so 1,000 and 10,000 and 90,000. Before 10,000 you have given, so that could be, that could not be allow you to insert the row. And above 90,000, if you are trying to give, that's also not allowed to, so insert the row into the table. So these are the rules which you have to follow, and for everything you need to write one particular trigger, not exactly these many triggers. Only one trigger is enough to write to evaluate all these things. So before going to take all these things, I hope that I believe that you are understand what my intention is here. I hope that you got the point what I am specifying here. You have to create a table EMPL having these many number of so columns. You just create without having any constraints in this particular table. To satisfy the rules and regulations, you have to write for all these kind of regulations what I have specified here. For all these kind of regulations, you have to write a trigger. The trigger will be evaluates whether unique value is provided to EAD or null value is provided. If null value is there, immediately you have to specify, no, null value is not accepted, something like that. You have to specify something like that. Okay. And row is not supposed to be inserted into that particular so table here. Row could not be inserted. So these are the regulations which we have to take into consideration. And for this, we need to write a trigger. It is very important to know about these kinds of triggers. So that is why, so in our syllabus, let me show you one word. One word is there. One word is there in our syllabus. Yeah, word is there. That word is active databases. That is the meaning of active databases. Okay, so already predefined constraints have been there. If you implement by using this predefined constraints, They could not be just databases. If you implement the same by using triggers, then that is called as active database. Okay, as and when you are trying to insert a particular data into the table, immediately trigger will be fired and it could be checked. So that is the point where exactly we need to consider here. Based on that, we have to write the trigger. So before going to write the trigger, so first of all, we need to create this particular table. Okay, you need to create this particular table. Okay, let me copy everything for a while and paste somewhere else and have to operate this one. Create table, a table name is EMPL of, now let me go ahead, something like this. First one is this, comma. I don't want to enforce anything here. Just like that. Okay, then comma. I don't want to enforce anything here. Then the last and final column. So no need to put any kind of comma here. So look at this. I'd like to copy this one and paste at my SQL prompt. Then it could be able to create the, already I have created one user for you to implement some kind of triggers here. The username is class. Okay, connect class. Yeah, connected. No rows are there here. Select everything from, so tab, no data is available here. Right now we are trying to create one particular table. Okay, table has created. Let me go ahead and operate this one. Yes, one table is there with us. EMPL, the table is there with us. And if you describe, so EMPL, there is no constraint. Look at this, no constraint has been enforced here. Nothing is there. For this one, we are trying to create one particular trigger. The triggers must be satisfy these rules. All these rules must be get satisfied. To satisfy this one, so let me write a trigger for you. Create or replace trigger. My trigger name is EMPL underscore ARI trigger. What shall we are trying to do here? All those rules and regulations could be gets activated when a new row will be inserted. So new row insertion could be always taken after insert on EMPL, after insert on EMPL for each row, it could be activated for every row. Okay, now what exactly we are trying to perform here? We need to have these many number of, okay, let me copy that one. I will delete this particular point at the end, because to remember all these so regulations I have copied here. I need to have so many number of variables here. Declare, so variable is temporary employee ID, TID, so which is EMPL dot, so EID percentile type, percentile TYPE, percentile type, then followed by TE name, so unique is being operated only at one particular place. So remaining all things are not required here. If as and when required, yes, we will go ahead and we will declare at that moment. Okay, begin. Yes, things have been declared and begin. What exactly we are trying to perform? Number one operation is unique operation on EID. Unique operation on EID. What exactly we are trying to do? Unique in the sense, you need to check that whether any kind of data which is available previously. If I am trying to introduce one particular value for EID, that is 101, whether 101 is existed or not, you have to check it out. Okay, so that for that, what you are trying to perform here is, so select EID into, so TEID. I'd like to take that particular data, TEID. So where, from EMPL, where, so EID is equal to new.EID. new dot EID. So I have introduced, I'm trying to introduce one particular new row. Within that particular row, one value is there, that value is EID. So just now I have operated insert operation. Within that one EID is there, whether such kind of EID is available or not. Whether such kind of EID is available or not. If EID, so if EID is not available, so same kind of newly introduced value could not be available. The value which is so available with this one is null. If it is null, there is no problem. If it is not equal to null, so if it is not equal to null, if EID is not null, if it is not null, then obviously we have to so specify then what is the if it is not null, raise APPLICATION application error. My error will be so starting with the minus 21,000 minus 21,000. What is my error here is so unique constraint is violated on EID. I have to display my own. It's my own. Okay, if it is not null, so you have to select some value here. Sorry, temporary EID. I am very sorry, temporary EID, not EID, temporary EID. I have selected this temporary EID into TEID. Okay, EID into TEID. If temporary EID is not null, some value will be available. Then so-called value which have been introduced by you is available within the so table here. This is first one. Okay, the first operation which could be uniqueness. Okay, then while trying to introduce some kind of data into EID, so insert operation could be taken so that EID is null. Okay, if EID new dot EID so is null. Similarly, we do have many nulls. Many nulls are there. Everything I have to check here itself. Or otherwise, if you want to specify as such kind of error messages, clear messages, then you have to write many, as many number of operations. Okay, we will write in such a way. Then, so raise application error. So 21,001. So null values are not accepted by what is the column? EID. Okay, and if. And again, the same kind of operation could also be done for many number of columns. So let me write for each and every column I'd like to specify. Next one is ename. New dot ename is null. If it is null, so 21,002, let me say that is 2. So not accepted by ename. Then again, so one more constraint is available here, that is EDEPT. If EDEPT is null, again 20,003. So EDEPT also not accepted, this kind of thing here. Then again, we do have one more after EDEPT. One more thing is there, that is eSalary. ESAL. ESAL is null. Then this is 4 actually. This is 4. And ESAL. Okay, all not nulls are over. All not null checkings are over. Now, coming to EDBT. Yes, you have been provided some value. That value is not equal to CSE, EC, triple and mechanical, civil. Then there is no question to insert the value. So that is why we have to check that if one more condition. If EDEPT is not in, so either of these values, either of these values, not in either of these values. Okay, so because all these characters you have to enclose within single quotes. So not in all these values. Any one of these values could not be there with you. Not in. If it is in, it is satisfied. If it is not in, so then, so here again we have to take price application error 2005. So check constraint is violated. On EDEPT. So employee DEPT, one table is there, one column is there on that particular column. So it has been violated. So next one, next condition. Next condition is if employee salary, ESAL, what is our not between, what is the value? 10,000 and 90,000. Then, so this is 6. Let me say this is 6. So check constraint is violated on E salary. ESAL. Okay. Look at this. How many number of conditions we have written? How many number of conditions we have written? These are as many number of conditions we have written. So copy this one and finally end our trigger. So slash. Look at this. Okay, only one variable is required. Remaining all variables are not required here because I'd like to check that whether so value will be equal to is null, is not null. Then the things will be not satisfied, and the value which we have to introduce into the row as EAD as null, immediately null value is not accepted. All these things and followed by and so on and so forth. Let me save this one. I'd like to save with EMPL TRI dot SQL. Okay, employee trigger dot SQL. So let us check it out. @EMPL TRI dot SQL. Okay, dot SQL is not necessary. Yes, some error messages are there. Let me check it out. Show while typing something BETW. Yeah. The problem is BETWEEN. Where it is? BETW. Between and under. That is the problem. So okay, let me execute one more time. Still. EDEPT must be declared. Where it is? Okay, before going to take this one, describe on EMPL. So I have written, yes, describe EMPL. EDEPT, yes, EDEPT only. Where it is? New dot EDEPT is null. Then okay. What are the errors here? 20th the statement is ignored. Somewhere else, semicolon or something else is missed. You please check it out for a while. Where EAD equal to, okay. New dot EAD, yes. New dot ename, new dot EDEPT, new dot eSalary. Yes, yeah, here it is. Colon new dot. That is what the mistake. Colon, so new dot. Okay. Colon new dot. I'm sorry, these are the mistakes. Okay, let me check it out one more time for execution. Yes, your trigger has created. Okay, your trigger has created. So what kind of things we have accepted here? Not accepted here. Uniqueness is being checked out here. Then second one is not null have been checked out for all the columns. And then conditions, you have to check for EC, EEE, mechanical, CSC, and civil engineering for department. And the salary must be between 10,000 and 90,000. So these are the things which you have to accept it here. Let us insert some rows into this particular table. Insert, first row must be inserted in a proper way. Insert into table name is EMPL. So values, first row will be the ampersand EID because it is number. So it is character included within single quotes, that is ampersand E name. Yes, E name. Then again, varchar 2 ampersand, so EDEPT, employee department, ampersand ESAL. Okay, these are the 4 columns. EID is 101. Employee name is obviously Hari. Heira. Okay. So 101 Hari. Then employee department is CSE, and then 23,500 and 500 rupees. MPL values. Okay, so that is why here one small problem is there. The problem is, so initially we did not have any data. We did not have any data initially. So therefore, uniqueness is not executed in a proper way. Uniqueness is not executed in a proper way. So that is the basic problem. So that is trigger mutating. This problem is called as trigger mutating. Look at this. Trigger is mutating. So that is the basic problem here. So to avoid this particular problem, so let me drop the trigger for a while. Drop the trigger for a while. Drop trigger. The trigger name is, what is our trigger name? So EMPL underscore trigger for first row. I'm trying to specify for first row. So we'd like to drop this particular trigger and then insert our data in a proper way. Insert our data in a proper way. So let me insert this particular data for a while, because that kind of problem is called as trigger mutating, because not having any even single row of data trying to evaluate for uniqueness, it could not be accepted. It could not be accepted. That process will be called as trigger mutating. Without having, if table is empty and trying to perform some kind of operation, that operation might be null, then some problem will be rises. So that is why it could be comes like this. Now I'd like to create the trigger here. What is the trigger? Trigger name is yes, EMPL trigger. Yes, trigger is created. Now let me introduce the table data into that particular table again. Now already our data, the data is 101 is there, Hari is there, CS is there, some 2. And again, I'd like to consider 102. Second data 102. E name is Kumar, and then department is let me say aeronautical, AERO, aeronautical, and the salary is some 25,000, for example. So look at this. Okay, it is not accepting actually. It is not, a mutation is continuously gets occur. Mutation is gets occur for only this particular thing. Okay, let me give you that particular operation. Uniqueness will be given you for a while. Let me I don't want to take this, take off this. Okay. Let me make them so comment lines. Let me make them comment lines for a while. I'll give you. Yes, there is a possibility. I'll give you. So all these things will be comment lines. All these things will be for uniqueness. You have much problem. So I'll give you. There could have another operation we have to perform. You just comment line, and then you have to create one more time at the rate EMPL TRI. What is this? One moment, please. No problem at all. You don't worry. Declare also not required. Declare also not required. Yeah. Yes, trigger is created. A small problem is occurred. I have eliminated everything, so there is no problem. So trigger is created. Now, let me introduce data one more time. For uniqueness, always this problem, mutation could be always taken by the trigger. Don't worry about that. Employee name is 102, and then Kumar, and then AERO, aeronautical engineering. Salary is 23,000, something like that. Now here you have to raise application error. Oh, it is out of range. Okay, however, it is out of range. So, so 21,000. Okay, let me make it as 20,000. Sorry for this. 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. It's also 20,000. Okay. Let me create one more time the trigger. So this is the problem with the triggers. Okay, let me introduce the data one more time. That is 102. His name is Kumar, aeronautical engineering, and then 23,000. So you could see the message, you could observe the message. Check constraint is violated on EDEPT. What we wrote here, EDEPT is, where is that EDEPT? Yes, this one. Check constraint is violated on EDEPT, the same message which has been displayed. Okay, so of course, these two messages are while executing the trigger. So this trigger will be, this particular trigger will be where exactly you got this particular message, in the sense during the execution of this particular trigger. That is the meaning here. These two messages will becomes for that particular meaning. This is our user defined trigger. Okay, user defined name. Let me introduce one more time whether it is executed properly or not. 102. So Kumar, then triple E, and then 34,000 rupees. Yes, our row has been introduced. Look at this. Select everything from so EMPL. Yes, your data has been introduced. Previously, what we have introduced aeronautical. We are trying to introduce AERO. That AERO not supposed to be introduced here. Okay. So in this way, you could write your own trigger. I'll give you what is the information for uniqueness. I'll give you. Don't worry. I'll give you. Okay. So in this way, so you are trying to write your trigger to satisfy the rules and regulations of constraints. Okay, to satisfy the rules and regulations of constraints, yes, you can write your own trigger based on the satisfactory level of the constraints here. Okay, so you are expected to take this particular class again and again, and inform the same to all of your friends, and so implement the same. I'll give you probably by day after tomorrow, by Thursday or Friday, I shall give you one assignment to you. So many people are not being submitting the assignments. Probably, one moment, please. I'd like to stop this.